Oh, hello. I was gone all last week. I was at spring break. On spring break? At spring break? I was on spring break with my children. And we decided to go to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which was a place I'd never been. Really cool place. And rented a cabin. I say a cabin. It was really just a nice house made out of wood. They called it a cabin, but it was beautiful. Went out with a couple of friends and their kids as well. So we had a bunch of rugrats running around, and we did all the cool Gatlinburg stuff, Pigeon Forge stuff. We went to Dollywood. Went to some Jeep trails. Took the Jeep Mojave out and put it to some tests there. Saw some bears. There was even a bear in our cabin checking out the trash. He didn't get it because it was locked, but it was really cool. And so happy to be back. I released a video yesterday that talked about Sharepoint integration with Zoom. And what does that even mean? I don't know if people understand how powerful of a tool this is. What we just released, what Zoom just released, is an amazing ability to integrate Zoom chat with SharePoint. Why is that important? Well, think about this. Think about this. If you're an enterprise, if you're a small business, if you're a mid-market company, you probably utilize a lot of the Microsoft products, right? I always joke with the customers, like 99.86% of the people I talk to are Microsoft customers. Right? Rarely do I walk into a customer, they're like, hey, we're all Linux, Red Hat, and Google. It happens. It's not, but it happens 0.14% of the time, apparently. Why that's important is that you're going to utilize the power of Microsoft products when you are a Microsoft shop, right? And one of the most powerful tools in the Microsoft arsenal is SharePoint for file repository within your company, right? File repository is two different things in the Microsoft world. OneDrive for personal files, and then SharePoint for all your company files. And how do we store those, right, within that SharePoint architecture if you're a Zoom shop? Well, it's kind of easy now, right? It's literally a checkbox. If you are a Zoom customer and you are using Zoom at all, here's what we do. Here's how to turn it on. If you go to your admin portal, right? Here's my admin portal. I'm logged in with my test account. I go to account settings right here. Under account settings, I'm going to have a Zoom chat function now. Under Zoom chat, I'm going to have a storage function. Click on storage. I now have the ability to turn on cloud storage with Microsoft SharePoint. Actually, it can also set storage retention policies as well, but you can do this in SharePoint. So as an admin, why that's important? Again, as an admin, as an IT admin, the last thing you want is a bunch of tools to admin a bunch of stuff. What if you could admin all your file retention, file repository, all your files, regardless of the chat client? Right? Teams already stores files. Microsoft Teams already stores files in SharePoint. If you're a Zoom chat and a Zoom customer and you utilize Zoom for your chat as well as Microsoft Teams, we can get into that in a second. Well, that's another topic. Mio is another topic. Today, let's talk about SharePoint. So now you can now integrate Zoom chat as well as Microsoft chat files inside of SharePoint. Super powerful. David just wrote this blog yesterday at blog.zoom.us. David, one of the new product marketing and managers for meetings and chat. And he wrote an amazing article on the power of connecting Microsoft SharePoint integration with Zoom chat. Why is that important? Here's why it's important. It's important for two different reasons, from a user level and from an IT admin level. Let's go to the user level real quick. From a user level, I now have the ability, once I just turn that on, once my IT admin just turned on Microsoft SharePoint file storage in Zoom chat, now every single file that we store, you as a user send or share or collaborate on, is now going to be shared or stored in SharePoint. And why is that important? Again, two different levels. User level importance, IT level importance. For the user level, let's go to this. In the past, if you wanted to add a file to a team or a channel or to a meeting, you did it this way. You went to upload from, and then you got all these choices, right? As agnostic as Zoom is, you can do it from Dropbox and OneDrive and SharePoint, and and G Drive and Box. All those can then upload a file, right? That's been there for a long time. Here's the powerful part for a user is now when users are creating new files to work on, and if you're an Office 365 shop, the predominant amount of files you're going to be working on are Microsoft Office 365 files. We wanted to make it easier. Zoom wanted to make an easier way to create those. And here's what they did. They integrated that Zoom storage into SharePoint. Now, from a user perspective, I have a bunch more choices. When I want to create and or upload a file, I can do that like I did before. I want to upload a already created PowerPoint or Word or Excel file. I can do that here. Super simple. But what if I want to create a brand new one? Here's the power of what we were just talking about. What if I wanted to create a brand new Word document, for example? Brand new Word document. 2 mouse clicks, done. 2 mouse clicks. I've now created a Word document, and watch what Zoom does for me. Zoom then opens up that Word document in Office 365 web version. And now this new Word document is on SharePoint already. It's already there. I don't have to upload it. I don't have to put it anywhere. I don't have to share it anywhere. It's already created on my new channel. Remember, I just created that channel. Let me minus this down here. This new channel that I created is called Sharepoint Integration Channel. So now every new channel that you create in Zoom, all those channels are going to store everything in SharePoint. Now I just created a Word document, 2 mouse clicks on the fly. Look, I can just type on this Word document. What's happening right now? It's saving to SharePoint. I don't have to do anything as a user other than just create documents. Why that's really cool is now we have that document created. That document's right there. We can actually send that document to the team. And look what happened here. I created a new PowerPoint file as a test, and I created a brand new Word doc as a test. Notice these files are 1-bit files from SharePoint, Microsoft SharePoint. That's because the SharePoint, the file is actually not in Zoom chat anymore. It is actually in SharePoint. Again, why is that important? Let's go back to SharePoint. So let's open up your SharePoint instance. So if you're an IT admin, you're going to, let me move me over here. I'm going to go over here to SharePoint. And look what's there. There's that SharePoint page that I just created. That channel that I just created in Zoom chat is now in SharePoint. Now, if I dive into it, all the files that I've uploaded as a test here are now already here. Look at all the files that I created. If I go to documents, remember the files I just created literally just seconds ago? Right here, brand new Word doc. It's already here. It's ready to rock and roll inside of SharePoint. And now, as an IT admin, I just showed you how it's really helpful for the user. How is it helpful for the IT admin? Now I can control all my files enterprise-wide in one repository. I can then put file stamps on it. I could put archiving rules on it. I could put retention rules on it. I could put versioning rules on it. I can put automation on it. And that's really where we see the power of Microsoft and Zoom together. Let's look for a quick example here. I have all these files I created. For example, what if I wanted to automate something? Here's just a simple automation tool. If I want to go to automate, what does even automate is? This is for IT nerds right here. I can now use Power Automate to create rules within my file repository SharePoint that adheres to everything that I do in Zoom and or SharePoint. So for example, I created some rules already. Here's a couple of rules I created, just simple rules using Power Automate in SharePoint and applying them to all my Zoom chat files. So right here, when any file is created, send an email to my administrator. Why would that be helpful? Well, what if you're obviously the admin of a certain channel and you want to maybe keep tabs on all the files that are created inside of your channel? Here's an easy way to do it. I then created a simple Power Automate tool. It's really simple in the Microsoft world. I can automate it. I can create a rule. I can create a new rule right here on the fly. And this is as easy as I did it. I just did it in a couple of minutes. Anytime there's a new file created or deleted, it's going to let me know right here. I can then type in, hey, when a file is deleted, send an email to the administrator. Done. That's as hard as it is. Power Automate's a very powerful tool in the Microsoft world. Now I can apply all those powerful tools in the Microsoft SharePoint world to Zoom. And now let's look what happens here. I just created that rule. Now let's look real quick. Let's look at my email. So this is my email for MOD administrator that I just showed you in this last example. Remember what I just created? A brand new Word doc? Remember that? Like a couple minutes ago? Look what's here. There's now an email saying, hey, brand new Word doc created and uploaded to my document library. I can then, as an administrator, go to the file that was just created and see what was just uploaded to my Zoom chat file. This is a simple, very simple automated rule. What if we wanted to create more automation? What if we wanted to do workflow automation? What if we wanted to do approval automation in the Zoom chat world and apply it to my SharePoint files? That's exactly the power of why Zoom created this SharePoint integration. You can now leverage all the cool stuff in Microsoft SharePoint, Microsoft Security, Power Automate, and you can apply those to Zoom chat. You can see clearly Zoom has a very strong strategic roadmap when it comes to Zoom chat and how that's going to apply to the collaboration and communication world of UCaaS, right? I always talk about this. UCaaS is unified communication as a service, right? Or is it? Or is it unified collaboration as a service? Could be. Are those two separate things? I think they are. I think collaboration is non-real-time stuff, right? Creating a file, sharing a file. Real-time would maybe be co-authoring on the file. Guess what you can do now in Zoom chat using the power of SharePoint collaboration? You can now co-author on files within Zoom chat because you just created those files in SharePoint. Communication, UCaaS, collaboration. Communication is what Zoom does perfectly, right? Zoom meetings, Zoom audio, Zoom video, Zoom phone, Zoom rooms. Now we're combining the power of collaboration and communication together, utilizing the power of Zoom and Microsoft together. This is just one simple example of how powerful this new SharePoint integration is with Zoom and Microsoft. I'm actually going to expand this series and go into maybe some DLP stuff, some advanced security stuff that you can apply to your chat files within Zoom. Hope that's helpful. Again, I guess I'm talking the same point over and over again. I'm hoping you get the point. This is probably one of the most powerful tools to come out in the Zoom chat world in a long, long time. You can now leverage the power of Microsoft Chat and collaboration and SharePoint inside of Zoom chat. All right, have a happy Tuesday.